Hello, welcome to, of course, our after show for the finale of Divinity Original Sin 2. GM mode multiplayer campaign, Death in the Family. That was weird, and I will say it was very weird to GM that and quickly try and run around and do things to make it more like to improv off your characters. Was very strange. How do you
I
think
imagine
it went?
that was a challenge.
Yeah, I didn't really look at the actual stream. What were you doing most of the time?
Making
sometimes you
stuff
went
on the
silent.
fly very fast, and also because the whole enemy characters are all bugged to hell. A lot of the statuses disappeared. Like, you know, obviously, like the girl was meant to be undead, but she wasn't listed as undead sometimes because for some reason her traits had disappeared. So there were like all weird things, and I was rushing around making sure they had them in the middle of the fight. Like the first time you attack the source form Esmeralda, poison hurt her, and I was like, wait, no, she's meant to be undead. Why is that not on? Oh, all of her traits have disappeared. So I had to go quickly add like loads of them back.
Apart from the bugs, the GM mode's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gem mode's
It's
really,
a great
really useful.
concept.
It's really nice that they just added it basically as, oh, we've got some spare time. A couple of the devs are doing it as a side project. Sure, why not?
Oh heck, are we
We're
doing
in
stuff
rock.
yet?
Oh, is this the bit that we skipped?
Yeah, this is the one
We're
in
inside
the
rock
source
with
mine.
Voidwoken. Uh-oh.
Oh, where
That
are
said,
we?
you now basically out-level everything here.
Good.
We're
You
inside of
say that, aren't we the
rock.
same level? Oh no, we're one level above. Yeah, we are inside rock. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're actually
And
inside
because of the rock, I can't see.
Yeah, what's up with this rock?
Alright, I'm
Oh,
gonna jump
yeah,
somewhere.
the spawn place is... Yeah, that's not meant to be the spawn place.
Oh, this place has high ground.
Yeah.
And
Finally, says Ragnar.
Something
me-
Lauren mentioned that I think was pretty cool is that these characters are awesome.
Yeah. It'd be fun to port them to like D&D or another RPG system and play with the characters as an actual like
yeah, what's
RPG.
what class would Lizard probably be? Yuan T? Or not?
Dragon-
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn?
Yeah. You just use Dragonborn and then alter some of the
Mm-hmm.
Because
Also what
they
the
have an innate
appearances-
breath anyway, which is exactly what
Yeah,
Lizard
that
sounds
makes
so...
sense.
yeah.
I guess I was just thinking too much.
I mean,
of
it'd be interesting
Volos.
'cause-
Love me some Volos.
Volos is amazing. I love Volos.
This system is very built around like multi-class concepts. I
Mhm.
think because like anyone can pick up magic, so it'd be either you'd have to come up with an interesting like we would all probably just have to multi-class.
Yeah, I'd have to go
Um,
something like Wizard Cleric to get the necromancy stuff. Like,
Yeah. Like I was like I'd have to do probably
Yeah, you can do wizard
Sorcerer.
necromancy stuff.
barbarian.
huh?
You can do wizard necromancy stuff.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is there just like?
I think so.
Isn't that
Oh, quick! Let me grab my
Hold on.
player's manual. That's right
if
next
we
to
had,
it.
What?
if we'd had necromancy, could we have revived that dragon to fight for us?
No. Because that's
Oh.
not how it works in
No,
this
I
game.
have necromancy. That's not how it works.
I've not used
No,
it.
but I
so
was
don't know.
thinking. I was thinking more like because the cleric spells have inflict wounds, and that seems like the necromantic damage, whereas
Ah.
on wizard spells you have fire bolts and stuff.
You could always just take the thing that allows you to take cantrips from a different class at
Raid.
level up.
Oh, this is good armor.
Yeah, you can have a lot of flame stuff from wizard spells. You could also do like the pyromancy and geomancer, just straight wizard probably. Warlock spells have some.
Yeah, there's some elemental. I was thinking like sorcerers tend to have an elemental stuff, although there are like druids can pick up elemental spells too. Like there is Thunderwave or Thunderwave is one. I was thinking one that my druid had, which was like lightning bolt or something, which was super fun because you'd basically be like, "There's a bolt of lightning here, and anything near it gets electrocuted."
Yeah, so you could be like fighter druid maybe, or fighter.
It would be a much better combination than barbarian, because unfortunately barbarians you can't cast while ranging, so...
I just think
Oh,
that
yeah.
the cleric,
Yeah,
the
have to be
cleric,
fighter.
necromantic, like inflict wounds and etc. The cleric of death or whatever is actually pretty good for what the necromancy in this game seems to be like.
Yeah.
Not the trickery.
Yeah.
There's a death cleric somewhere. I don't remember where.
There's,
like,
it's
there's
in
a lot of-
Xanthars, I think. There's a necromancy-based cleric.
Extra stuff that we could pull. It would be fun. I would genuinely enjoy trying to, one, rebuild these characters in a different system, but two, like actually like play with them.
Definitely. I think the necromancy specifically
Why
is
are
a
all
bit
of you over there?
Because
it's
that's
a
where
bit
they want
kind
to.
of different or themed differently in D&D. It's less about like being evil and getting evil armies in this one,
Yeah.
from what I can tell. I haven't played much of this game.
Yeah, it depends. Like the game, you can do all sorts of different kinds of magic, but I think that one of the places where Divinity shines is that nobody is just bad or just good. Like there are in Divinity Original Sin 2, there are the paladins, there are the magisters, they're the Black Hand, and like everyone does shitty stuff to everyone else. Like there's no, these are obviously the good people. Like everyone is like killing, and it's there's no good, right? It's just all like, well, depending on what you heard about this group, you might think that they were justified, and depending on what you heard about this other group, you might think that they were justified. And there's a lot of making decisions in that.
Oh, it's me.
Okay,
I
can kill
noticed
you.
that, especially in the first, I think I've played probably a couple of hours through the story, specifically picking up NPCs to be in your party. All of them are just like, I'm a really horrible person, but I can help you.
Yeah, like the Red Prince is an asshole. Beast seems pretty okay. Sabille is definitely like an assassin. Losa is inhabited by a demon. Thane is really arrogant and also undead. Ivan is like also kind of an assassin, but a little bit more like legitimate-esque because he's like contracted, whereas Sabille is just like sick after people. Yeah, it's very interesting. They have a great group of playable story characters that all have some really interesting things to say. I chose to play my game as a created character, and I have the story characters as my party, but I do know that there's a lot of times where if you go up to an NPC with a story character, there's a very different
There's a lot of
reaction
stuff specifically, for them.
But it's cool how like in the GM mode we kind of like used, like I had Noble as my background, and so that gave me a different reaction when confronting other nobles than like the outcast members of the party. Like you would have had a totally different response to them, and so it was a lot of this stuff isn't, and like in terms of a game system, a lot of these mechanics that we use aren't inherently in the GM mode. Like we have stats, but they don't actually influence that much in terms of the social stuff, at least.
Yeah,
So that was all created by EE and by us in terms of like usability. It's not actually built into the system. So when you're
there's just a rolling.
when you're weighing the pros and cons of the way we played, that's not necessarily how everyone will play, and that's not necessarily how the game was built to work.
Yeah.
So I think that there's, aside from the bugs of the game itself, it would be cool to see the rolls add your stats automatically based on like, this is a intelligence roll. Like,
Well, I can actually designate a roll as like, there's a stat type check, and I can be like, this is an intelligence roll. It literally, all it does is though, I'll like show you guys. It should now say a little intelligence symbol and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually
Doesn't
make any
actually do
modifications.
anything. It still rolls a d20. It just has a symbol.
So yeah,
Nat
like
20.
that's the thing is like if I got a 1 for some reason. Yeah, if we're ranking this as a game system, there's a lot that we had to interject into it in order to have it be an entire game. You know, like it doesn't stand by itself yet, in my mind.
But it wasn't too
You're
difficult
muted.
to add stuff to it, which is nice. And I was going to ask EE, do you think it would be easier now that we've kind of established what these characters are and what they do, who they are, etc.? Do you think it would be easier to build a campaign in this around those characters now that you know, obviously, like what Blue Jay was saying about things like the noble background and stuff like that?
Yeah, like, I think that it would be easy to build it if you knew the characters, especially going into it, but there is so much effort going in to actually just devise your basic framework that it's a lot of effort to make even a few episode campaign.
That's why I'm looking forward to them having a like custom content downloadable stuff like The Sims has. Like if you could make this map and then just upload it, and then anyone can download it. Like
yeah, you can do that.
How Roll20 has downloadable maps. Like the more of that custom content there is, the easier it is for every single person who wants to start a campaign.
Yeah.
And then it just comes down to time. Like there'll be someone who's like, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm gonna make 17 trillion Divinity maps, and then you'll just have them download, and it'll be a lot easier to make a campaign.
Well, you can actually do that already with the Steam Workshop, because I think it's got Steam Workshop integration. The thing is that there just isn't the content on it at the moment, like you said. And there's
People just aren't making it.
there's so much time to put in.
And over time, more of a library will build up, and then you might be able to just
I'm
make an
hoping.
entire campaign with just plugging together lots of maps and stuff. Like, and there might be
That's
people who
where
just
I
make
see-
entire campaigns that other people can then download and play, and it's
Which
possible.
is just like people making like Tomb of Annihilation. That's exactly what that is. Someone made an entire campaign, and then they were just like, here you go. Like that in Divinity could be really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
But I think it takes some kind of spotlight shining by the devs. Like, hey guys, this is something that you can do, so you know. And it also takes, like, I am constantly telling people this game is amazing, play this game, but it's also like 100+ hour campaign. And like it's a very specific group of people that have that much time to devote to the game.
I mean, I really, really want to play the game, and I think I'd play it in my spare time, but I'd need the time, and I still haven't finished Witcher 3, so...
Witcher 3 is also very good.
I mean, I've still got like 5 BioWare games.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
play this game any more than I already have. That's,
Well, and that's the
a
thing,
massive
that
problem for me.
I wanted to do like a 4-player campaign of this game when it first came out, but committing 4 people to 100 hours of co-op, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I can't find that time. It's nowhere. Like finding the time for myself is one thing, but finding the time that coincides with 3 other people's schedules, impossible.
You should have asked me. I'm probably stupid enough to say yes to that. I was stupid enough to agree to do this campaign, which I initially made for a one-shot, and I spent stupid amounts of time on it because I was like, it's gotta be good. Wait, I made way too much content.
Well, you see, it was playing the game that made me meet you guys and get invited to this thing. So I had already gotten into it before I knew you to ask.
Well, you should have known me earlier.
Naturally. Way to fuck that one up.
Wow,
You should have
sorry.
seen the future.
Yes.
Lauren, why didn't you invite me to be in all of your shit back when we were on Sphinx and Satyr? I'm blaming you for this.
Because I wasn't in. I didn't even start Layla until August.
I could have known you in August. I didn't start the game until October.
It's true.
There we
I started the game
go,
in November,
Lauren. It's all
so
your
It's
fault.
not that bad.
fault.
I failed. I have failed.
And now you find someone to blame for that, and the chain just goes on
Yeah, we'll
forever.
just like chain it.
If only Roll20 had contacted me sooner.
There you go.
So and then I can go all the way back to my friend Greg.
It's Greg's fault. Fuck Greg.
Fuck Greg.
Guy.
Like,
I mean, I don't know Greg,
mean-
but I'm on board with this plan.
he's the producer of 5th edition. Like, his name is in the book.
Oh, Greg Beasley. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's obviously Greg's fault.
So blame Greg.
God damn it, Greg.
I know. Okay, can I jump yet? I still don't have Phoenix Dive. It's cool. There's two things up here.
I've been knocked out for a very long time.
I did like 200 damage in one turn.
Yeah, you are.
Why do you
the
need
same.
us?
Huh? Oh, because
Why does it?
I had to level up to that point. And also, I need to be far away from people, because if they get up on me, my physical armor is like 18.
Okay, so we're like meat shields.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Adelia's function is a damaging meat shield. And I'm okay with
For a
that.
second, I thought that you'd taken 2,600 damage, but it was a 26 and a 16 next to each other.
That's good.
So much
Very cursed fire.
I guess I just go over here.
It's the most cursed.
Take all the damage.
I like having both the teleport and the Phoenix Dive because if I can't get to it, I can bring it to me. It's a really synergistic combination.
I
can't get
really
there.
like Nether Swap
Come to
because
me.
it's just hilarious
Nether
to
Swap
screw
is great.
people.
Yeah, I like Nether Swap.
I'll be honest, I picked most of my abilities on the likelihood that Glamour would use it in a stage show.
That is a very reasonable reason. Like, I have a player in one of my other games who also is a performer, and like, she's like, yeah, no, I'm picking everything that's showy.
There you go. I mean, you gotta find a reason to do so.
Yep. And now I've got throwing knives to go, ability to go with the throwing knife story.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Go sorted. I skull him down.
Nice.
By the power of cat.
Well, I guess we do have to end the after show. Do we have time to defeat the golem, or we could?
Probably. I mean,
I'm gonna stab it a bunch. Does that
I
count?
there's 4 of us.
I just need to walk over there.
We'll certainly try. I should be able to jump up there on my next turn, so.
You know what? I've got sauce. There we go.
Dome of protection.
It's really a
I get-
sphere.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
They're just 2 domes put together. Should be domes
Well,
of
I guess whoever first cast the spell was stood on flat ground. So like, I guess this is a dome. I can't tell.
Perfect.
Yeah,
you would
they just
never
create a
know
sphere and they're like, wait, no, it's just a dome when I look at it.
They
you can't
couldn't
tell
prove
if
it was
it's
a
going under
sphere.
the
So.
earth.
Sweet.
All right, can I aim? Nope.
You guys got
Alright.
powerful really quickly.
Yeah, you gave us.
I got that mace is like twice as much damage as
That
I was
mace,
doing
I
before.
suspect, was one of the things that was also like that hat, because it's not meant to be that powerful.
Don't take it away
Oh,
from
I
me.
wish I got that hat. I would have only been killable by magic damage then, basically.
You really shouldn't have said anything about that hat.
Yeah, but then we would have got into the fight and I just would have been invincible. It would
No,
have.
you'd have got in the fight, I'd have seen your physical armor when it popped up, and I'd been like, no, and then you wouldn't have had headwear.
Yeah.
Fine.
I don't know. I think
Yes.
That is one of the
you
downsides,
scratched
because
enough.
when you put stuff in, it'll have a placeholder like, oh, placeholder 20 level item, and it'll make a 20 level item, or a 1 level item, depending on what you put in, which is just insanity. But it's a thing in the game.
It was level 20, so I think technically I couldn't wear it.
You can still wear
Oh,
it, but it
no.
like, reduces its effectiveness because you're
Time.
not
Okay.
for it.
I've got to get one
It's like, I've
chicken
got this
in me.
cowl and it's like, it's too good. I cannot place it upon my head, it is too powerful.
Ah!
You feel unworthy of the
You
felt
put it
cap.
on your head and your head explodes.
Just like I like the idea you try and put it on and it's like a magnet. It's like 2 magnets and it's like
No, it just shrinks slightly when you try and put it on, so it's never actually gonna fit on your head.
Could be a yarmulke.
I try and put it on really fast and it just crushes my head.
How'd you feel about all that cursed fire surrounding you?
I'm not on cursed fire, so I call it good for now. Like me moving is worse than me staying here, so I'll just wait until there's a reason for me to leave, like this chicken goes away.
The chicken will always be there for you.
Thank you.
It's not going anywhere.
Thanks. Feel a lot better now, guys.
Flurry.
Wait, rain won't work.
Oh,
Crap.
1 HP!
1 HP!
Table flip!
The chicken
What
lives!
nonsense is...
I got this. I'm gonna take down that
Finish
chicken.
him.
I'm gonna finish.
No, you're not.
Just light a
I
jelly
like
on
that it explodes
fire.
into a giant troll and lands on Clement as he kills it.
Yep.
Stand in this blood and feel better about myself. No! wait.
Sorry, I was trying to put out the fire.
No!
Kelly was so close to not being in it.
No, you weren't actually in it. I moved you into it.
Rude!
Brilliant.
And that is a great way to end this series. Thank you for watching.
Nice.
Thank you for supporting the
Resurrection
Patreon and
Skulls
supporting the show. And until next time, may the dice roll ever in your favor.